And welcome everyone. It is John the Net Guy, and it's time for Tech on Tuesday. It's 5:30 on every Tuesday in 2022. I've got a great show lined up for you. I've got 4 products tonight. I know it's a little bit less than we normally do, but we're going to have a total blast today. One, we got a joystick, and so that means gaming, which means we're going to play Microsoft Flight Simulator, maybe some Maverick, Tomcat, or what's Tomcat? Top Gun. There's no F-14 Tomcat tonight. It's an F-18 Hornet, but we'll make it work. I do have to let the Amazon guys in, but before I can do that, I do have to say, check me out on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all of those places. I can't say that once I'm online here. I can only direct you to my YouTube, which a few of you are already in the YouTube lobby. That is awesome. I'm just going to check and see if I got any hellos in there. Let me know how the sound sounds. That's a double. Yeah. Let me know how the sound is. I know we caught ourselves last week with a little bit of a sound glitch, and we got it figured out, so the rest of my recording went really well. I want to thank you guys again for showing up. We're about to let those Amazon guys in here, and we'll get going with some of these really cool products. It's an interactive show, so I just got to tell you, make sure you ask questions. If you've got questions about any of the products on the show tonight, if you're thinking about buying one, let me pull up this little tiny URL here in the corner. That's going to be scrolling in the corner all night, which is my Amazon shop. So if you check that out, that's where you can buy all of these products. If you purchase them from Amazon, not only does it help the brands that have provided these, I'll tell you which ones have, it also provides me a minuscule tiny commission, which helps pay for cameras, memory cards, bandwidth, and other stuff, which it takes to run a show like this, believe it or not. So without further ado, we're going to let the Amazon folks in, and we will get going. Hey, welcome Amazon shopper. It is John the Net Guy, and it is Tech on Tuesday, where we do PC builds, tech tips, and gear reviews live for you each and every week. This week, I have 4 great products to show you. We're going to start out with a set of earbuds from the Saknik company. Now, there's some really cool stuff about this. They aced a couple of the features that I've really wanted in earbuds, and they're a really interesting set. So I'll talk about that. There's also one big drawback to them. So before you go out and just buy them right away, let me tell you about the one drawback and see if that works with you. The second thing I want to tell you about is this, and I don't know how to pronounce the company name. Maybe you guys can help me on this. This is from the To Be None. I actually asked him about this, and it's kind of funny, but To Be Number One. So I'm going to call it To Be One, To Be One, To Be None, To Be N1. This is a MacBook owner's dream. The MacBook came with just an annoying array of Thunderbolt ports and a fistful of dongles, I should call it, because that's what it takes to run a MacBook if you've got to project, if you've got to open memory cards, if you got to do anything. This thing crushes them all. I'll show you again on the side camera what it looks like. This thing has more I/O than you can shake a stick at if you have one of the Intel-based MacBooks, which I just happen to have. So I'm going to show you that tonight. After that, we're going to go here with a curved RGB monitor light. Now, I've shown you some monitor lights, behind the monitor lights before on the show. This one's got some really interesting and neat features. There's also one feature that I really wish they would add, and I hope it can be a firmware thing because it would make this thing even cooler than it already is. But we'll show this. We'll get a little light show, disco light show going tonight. And then finally, the product that we're going to end it with, and we're going to play some games tonight. I got to show you the new Top Gun Maverick add-on for Flight Sim because it's so cool. After watching that movie with my wife and coming and playing this, there's some pretty interesting stuff about it. And if you're going to enjoy a game or a flight simulator like that, this Extreme 3D Pro from Logitech is where it's at. This is the absolute best flight stick, in my opinion, for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I've had the full-blown CH products, pedals, and everything. This is all you need. It's small, it's tight, it's lightweight, it's affordable. You could buy one every year for less than the cost of some of these other ones and get just as much enjoyment out of it. So we'll play that. I'll show you some of the cool stuff about that. If you do have questions, this is an interactive show. I can see your questions over here, but unfortunately, I'm not seeing them where they're supposed to be over here. Give me 1 second. Oh, it says live chat is currently unavailable. Give me 1 second to get this because this allows me to put the live chat up for you. And I think what it was is I closed my browser, which I shouldn't have done. So let me go get this set up back up there. And while I'm getting loaded up, let me know where you're from, if you don't mind. Again, there's people and it's the internet, but give me a general location. Tell me how the weather is there. We've got almost 2 inches of rain coming in the Pacific Northwest. And what's scary about that is June is our dry month. We literally get 1.4 inches. We've got like 1.6 coming just this week. It is crazy insane how much we got. So now I'm seeing the chat over here. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pop out the chat. And I am going to have to change one setting before I can do this. Sorry about that. I was trying to make it all fancy and working for you, but I missed one quick setting. And this is going to allow me to put your chat messages up here. Like I said, it's interactive. So I want to be able to pop up some of these answers to where you're saying that you're from. But to do that, I have to get this working. And I use my little chat plugin here. The screen is going to go away for just a second. Okay, here we go. First up, Andrew says, weather in Sacramento is high 80s, low 100s, average mid 90s. Wow. I did not know that got that hot. Spaceman, Marietta is cool and raining. Thanks, Spaceman, for checking in. Jeremy's coming in with the next update. It's muggy right now. I hate it. Yes, we have that mugginess. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Okay, so let me clean up just a little bit, put some products out of the way. We'll get started. I'm going to get the carousel going here for your Amazon people. If you're looking at purchasing any of these, Amazon's the place to get them. If you're looking at the description on Facebook, on any of the other websites, you're going to see my Amazon shop. You'll also see it scrolling down there. And that's the best way. If I come over to what I think got us in trouble, I'm going to actually use Edge. I know nobody uses the Edge browser, but I'm going to use Edge, not now. And I'm going to go to my Amazon shop here, and I'm going to bring it up for you so you can see it. It's kind of cool. So there is my Amazon shop in Edge. You can see me literally live just a few seconds ago. But one of the things I like to do is I put all of the products that are on the live show here right across the side for you. So I've got the headphones that are coming up. I've got the Tubi N1s. I've got the monitor. Oh, and look at that. It's on a lightning deal right now. Okay, so that's an even better one if you're looking for that, a better price for it. And then I've got the Logitech joystick coming up. So what I like to do is go to idea lists, go here to the live unboxing, and you'll see it here. And you're going to see the SACNIP. Those are the first ones. And these are the headphones that I'm going to show you here in just a sec. So I'll switch back, but that is how you get to it. If you're on one of the other services, I also have direct links to each of the products and my Amazon shop. So let's talk about these real quick. This is from the SACNIP company. And they sent this out for a fair and honest review. They are noise-canceling earbuds that look eerily familiar. Oh, very similar to maybe another company that has white products in little boxes like this. This is how they come out of the box here. And guess what? They're actually over here on my charger. But that's what they normally look like. The case on these is absolutely phenomenal. That's the one thing that they just nailed and got super, super correct on this, which in many, many others, they've done a really, really poor job of this. So quick top-down view again. I'm just going to finish the rest of the unboxing here. So this is the earbuds themselves, come in this really cool clamshell case. Lift up on the packaging here, and you get access to additional ear cups. So that's what those look like there. So you got 2 different sizes. It must come with the mediums because I see some smaller ones and some larger ones in here. You got the world's smallest USB Type-C cable, but guess what? You may not need it. Let me pull over here to the side camera, and here's what you can do. Literally, what you can do, set them on here. That thing will change color to green if I've got it centered properly, and now I am wirelessly charging these. Now, if I bring it up to you while it's doing that, look at the front of that. That's another really cool feature on this. there's left and right battery indicators and a little power charging indicator. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to a set of earbuds and be like, okay, what's the left? What's the right? You know, I have to go get the app out and open it up. So really, really cool. Another interesting thing about these, just the case overall, there's the color. I just want to show you that real quick here. So they'll blink on the back side when you open them up when they're doing their Bluetooth connection. They do have proximity detection. So if they're in your ears, they'll start playing. So if I pull these out, got to get them in the right ear this time. I'm already playing my podcast from my cell phone. It's pretty cool. And there we go. Now I'm going to come back over to the side view here, and I'm going to let you see what they look like in the ear. So not bad. Really, really small. I can also start and stop my music. I know you're not hearing my music right now, and I apologize for that. It's kind of hard to demo headphones, but they are playing. They look very similar to that other fruit company and their products. Couple cool things about it. Acoustic noise canceling. I can turn that on and off by just holding for 2 seconds on the left side. Noise canceling's on. So the little air conditioner that I have is not making any more noise. But if I wanted to hear my tripod fall like it did earlier, 2 seconds on the right side, and now it'll actually let me hear transparency mode. It's amplifying the voices and other frequencies except for the noise in my room. So I don't hear the air conditioner droning, but I will hear the kids talking or something. So it's got both transparency mode and noise canceling. I actually tested these a couple hours ago. And what was cool about it is I was mowing my lawn. I knew all that rain was coming we were talking about earlier. So I was mowing my lawn, and I literally put these on and said, I got to try these out. So I threw these in, and they sound great. The other interesting thing, so that I love the case. I love the noise canceling. Volume. These things get loud, and a lot of ones don't. A lot of them, you know, max volume is like 60%, you would think, on other earbuds. Let me pull these out here, and I'll just show you what the earbuds look like up close. But yeah, with these, you can get them up very, very loud. So that's what they look like up close. Really comfortable in the ears. You can see right there. Also, one of my big pet peeves, they've handled this, which is a label. So that's R for right ear. So they've got that as well. So overall, they're doing a lot of things right. Now I got to come back here and give you the thing that may or may not be a deal breaker for you. There is no app for this. So a couple of the other ones that I've shown and I've demoed on the channel here have apps. Now, if this is for somebody that maybe doesn't use a smartphone or doesn't like to carry their smartphone with them often, this could work out really well if you're watching TV with them, all those kind of things. This is the Wise, and I can tell you, you know, I love this Wise case. This is probably one of my favorite cases. I think they've outdone Wise on this one. It's super duper skinny. It's hard to see, but the way that this clamshells, it's actually skinnier. The other cool thing is that it does have that status display. So you can see that they're status displaying right now. And so that's another really cool thing. There is no equalizer though. So because you don't have an app, you don't have a way to go in and do equalization. Let me show you real quick on this one. I want to show you what their instructions entail, because this is the commands. Now you can't, as far as I've been able to find, remap the commands anywhere either. So you're going to get these capabilities. Hopefully you guys can see that. You got power, noise canceling, answer calls, end calls. So those are your presses. You'll learn them over time, but unfortunately that's about it. And now good question came up in the chat. Noise canceling is bad for your ears. That is true, actually. Thank you for bringing that up. Noise canceling, you know, used sparingly, used appropriately, and used in small durations is not as bad. But if you're constantly using noise canceling, to do that, it's inverting the sound, and it actually can cause more ear pressure. So if you get ear fatigue after wearing noise canceling earbuds for a long time, that's probably why. So the big drawback on these ones is the inability to change the equalization settings. And why is that a problem? The sound. You know, I love good sounding earbuds. The Wise ones, even without noise canceling, with passive noise canceling, just being an ear muff cup, earplug basically, They do really well, but they also still have an app that you can go in and change settings on. These ones sound a little bit muddy. And when I say muddy, what that is it's not the low bass and it's not the highs, it's the mid bass. It's that 200 to 500 hertz is pretty apparent in them. I would love to turn that down a little bit, and then they would be the perfect set of earbuds. So if you can deal with that, if you listen to podcasts and the hosts are maybe higher octave in their voice, it's going to be a-okay. But I listen to a couple people and they have a little bit lower voices and it can kind of sound like a droning sound. And I was wondering if that's what it was going on. And I was literally switching back and forth from my different headphones that I have here. And I noticed that they're very heavy in that mid-low bass area. So that's one thing that may be a deal breaker for you on these, but otherwise a company that has literally done the best case I've seen. Again, it's that soft shell. You can see the blue color there. It's that soft shell capability. Really easy to get in and out. Very convenient to carry with wireless charging capability. And if you don't have that wireless charging, you can take a look at that. It has the USB Type-C and the cable, like I said, that it comes with. It does not come with a charger because, face it, guys, it's 2022. These things are landfill bait. You don't need more of these. I've got them in my wall outlets now. I've got like 7 of them coming in the car. So yeah, that's definitely something we don't need extra of. But that is the SACNIP. And let's go take a look at the website one more time, just because I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. Right now, they're available for $79. We're going to go back over here. Active noise canceling capability here. Strong bass with hi-fi stereo. Transparency mode. We did do that. And they're lightweight with the battery display. So again, overall, a very decent one. Let's talk about battery life. I almost skipped that. I'm going to use the stat that's on the back of the box on this one because I think that's probably most accurate here. Talk time, 6 to 8 hours. The microphone, not the best in these. It has a lot of reflection in rooms, so it does pick up a lot around you, but it's not noise canceling from what I can tell. So that's one thing you might want to check with. If you're doing voice memos or if you've got an iPhone that's got great acoustic noise canceling built into the phone app, not a problem at all. But I was using a special app to test it out, and I noticed there was a little bit of echo. So 6 to 8 hours of talk time, 3.5 times charging in the case. So you can charge them 3.5 times inside this case before you need to work on that again. So that was another interesting thing about them. And, you know, very easy to use. I would say that this would be a great graduation gift. If you've got kids that are graduating, you want to give them something simple that's got that noise canceling ability. The fitment and the fit on this is amazing in my ears. I've got medium-sized ears. That's what I use. And they fit really well. There's no fear of them falling out. They're small enough that they're not like the Wise ones, which are really big and bulky and push on the back of my ears. They're small enough that they stay in your ear and they don't want to escape like some of the other ones. So that's from the SACNIP company. I want to thank them for, again, sending this out for a fair and honest review. Give me 1 second. I gotta change some things and we'll get set up here. Okay, we're switching over to the next product, which is one that I have really been excited to show you guys. Let me pull this up here. And thank you guys, Eric O, I'm going to call you, in the Amazon chat for following. That is awesome. You're going to get notified each and every time I go live. If you are absolutely loving the show, let me know that on the Amazon chat as well. This is John the Net Guy. If you've just joined, and we are on Tech on Tuesday, we do PC builds, tech tips, and gear reviews every Tuesday at 5:30, and this is the second product on the show. Again, 2B number 1 is the company name on here. It says 2B none, but they actually meant 2B number 1 there. So that's what it is, and this one has a lot of things to be excited about. One, if you're an Intel MacBook owner or MacBook Air here, the dual 4K docking station. So dual 4K, I believe it's 60. Let me double check on that because that was exciting. A 4K 30 or 4K 60. It's got capabilities for both out of the HDMI on this. That's in itself very nice to have. But one of the problems with a lot of these, and even the M1 MacBook, they can only have one additional display. So if you add 2 displays, then you get mirroring. Well, this one solves that. I don't know what they do in their software or drivers or what, or if they emulate, but they actually have 2 separate displays that it comes out of. So you get that. It's got USB 3 ports, 4 of them, 2 front, 2 rear, 2 additional USB ports for your wireless keyboards and stuff, and a single cable connection. So you put your MacBook Pro down, you plug in at the end of the day, it's charging, it's got all of the other stuff, it's got gigabit Ethernet going, it's got everything you can want, 2 monitor outputs, so you can have up to 3 displays here with the Intel MacBook Pros. Got to be really careful about that. If you have an M1, it will still work. It's only going to mirror both of those display outs. So if you just have a really big display of 4K that you want to plug in, maybe a 32 or 27-inch 4K, it's going to work perfect. It's just knowing that the M1 architecture, this one will only give you one set of display outs. If you've got the Intel, you can have separate resolutions and separate display outs. So that's a really, really cool feature about this. Micro SD and SD card reader, and they can be used simultaneously. That's another thing that they don't tell you. This one over here that I use with my iMac, it's got 3 little ports and a couple little readers. Only one of the cards can be used at the same time because they have the same architecture. A lot of people will think that you can put different ones in, but they're actually bonded on this one, whereas this one has a unique reader for each one. So if you're copying from micro SD to SD or vice versa, plug them both in, it can read them both at the same time, which is really slick. So let's do a quick unboxing here for everybody. And we'll take a look at what you get with this. Pretty minimalistic packaging, I have to say, but I'm going to put that over to the side. There is "thank you" written in several different languages. They actually have a pretty good single-page instruction guide here that I was kind of impressed with. It's all in English, and it's going to tell you about that myriad of ports. Now, what's cool about that, you can see the dual 4K on macOS. That's the unique claim to fame on this. So if you're like me and you're somebody that has one of the Intel iMac, Thunderbolt iMacs, this thing's where it's at. So that is all of the instructions. Now, the size of this thing is what got me originally. You can see that. I don't know. I've got my Starbucks cup over here. It is literally shorter than a Starbucks cup, right? So that's what you can see here. That's how small it is. And then width-wise, about the same. So, you know, very, very slender, very lightweight. That's another interesting thing about it. It has a metal construction, a metal finish. We'll go back over to the top view. So there you can see all of those ports I was talking about. You've got your power, you've got your Ethernet, 2 HDMIs, 2 USBs, 2 USB 2s, and your readers. This is what I'm assuming is the front of it. So it's got 2 additional for USB keys, a USB Type-C for your phone or Android, and this is actually both headphone and microphone input right there. So they were really thinking when they put this thing together of all the things that most of us normally need. So that's the ports. Let's take a look at the last little box here. Try not to rip it. I just did. So the last one includes the cable. Now, I like to do a cable test. If you guys watch the show, I try to stretch them out as far as I can. A double USB Type-C. This, I'm 6 feet, so my wingspan would be 3, half a wingspan. So it's a little over, like 3.5 feet, let's say. Now, what's interesting about this cable is those ends. That's double USB-C. And it goes into the back of the unit here. So I'm going to take it and plug it into the back of this unit. I'm going to get all of this boxes and stuff out of the way. And then we will plug it into my iMac, or not my iMac, that would be nice. I'm going to plug it into my MacBook Pro, and you're going to get to see how it works live here. Pretty cool little product. If you've got questions about this product, let me know. There's a whole conversation about noise canceling going on in the chat. So I'm excited to catch up on that later and see what you're talking about here. But this is my MacBook Pro. Again, I'm a YouTuber. I'm an Amazon. They call us influencers. I don't even know if that, I don't like that term. Maybe Amazon shopping friend. Maybe we can use that. So plugging it in, super easy. It just fits right on the side there. I should show you guys this on the side camera. So in my MacBook Pro and most of these, the Intel or M1s, they have these 2 Thunderbolts and they're perfect size apart. You don't have to worry about which way it goes in. So upwards, downwards, whatever. You can put them in both directions. They connect. And when you do that, the unit is going to light up. So it's got a single light going there. On the back side here, you can see where I put it in. There's my host connector, 1 and 2. And then I'm going to come back out here to the front camera, and I'm going to open it up. So Get myself all set up. And there we go. So now I've got my Mac background here. I'm going to try to pull this up on the overhead for you guys so you can see that. Now, if I want to add a second monitor here, I just happen to have this HDMI is plugged into something that you can see. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this over here, and then I'll bring that side view up and you'll see what's happened. So my Mac flashes, and this is real common with these when they're working. You'll get a little flash like that. And then if I go up into here and I go into my system preferences, not the App Store, system preferences, and then I go down to displays, this is where I can mirror my displays, or I can change any of the display topology. Now, what's cool about this is what's coming out of my Mac. I'm actually sending this in here. So you can see they're just the displays. Hey, Tina, welcome to the show. She just said hi, John, from the Facebook chat. So nice to see you, Tina. And I am just showing off this product. This is for any of you MacBook Pro owners out there. This is from 2B&1, 2B number 1. This company sent this out for a fair and honest review. I've been loving it. So it is a very cool product if you're a Intel MacBook owner here. So what you can do is you can go in here and add a display, right? So you can set it up. Now, my XR1 Lite is what I use to capture the display. So that's one monitor. And then I have my built-in display here. And what I'm saying is to mirror them. Now I can actually say stop mirroring, and I can show you what that looks like. Now I've got this on my one display, so I can use it over here if I want. And I got to see how I hit enter on that. Okay. And I can bring this over here. So you can see I'm dragging that window between two displays. So now it's got the second of two virtual displays, right? So that's one there. I'm going to go ahead and grab out something that's coming up on the show. This is my gaming monitor over here. So this is a second monitor. Right now it's hooked to my gaming machine, but we will fix that. And I want to show you how this thing does dual display output at different resolutions, which is a key. And you can mirror. So this will do up to 2 4K signals and whatever your display on your device is. So now it's going to flash again. It's going to go away for a second. And now it's coming in and it's found all those unique displays. So now it's going to automatically, it looks like, mirror them. So hopefully this will come up. And so hopefully you guys can see this, but I have what's displaying on my MacBook. Actually, you know what? Top-down camera would work well for this. So I've got my MacBook, I've got this display here, and then I've got the capture card going there, which is my third display. So not to try to confuse you here, but this thing's really cool. So if you're doing presentations, maybe you're a teacher or you're a school district that's looking for something that works with the Intel MacBooks, you can connect this up very easily, have this plugged in. Now, you'd run your cables and do all your cable management and everything all pretty. And your teacher, all they have to do when they come in is plug this one cable into their MacBook. So as a creator, I'm super excited because I have external hard drives everywhere. That little blinky light that you see over there is actually the show records to a solid state drive. And when I go back to my editor to edit it, I can go plug it in and I can read out of it. Well, if I'd want to do that, I can do that right to here. So I was doing some speed tests last night on this, and the performance is really good. I'm going to do some quick tests real fast here for you guys. So there's a tool called Blackmagic Disk Speed Test. Now I'm going to pull this up for you so you can see it. And what this does is it tests the performance of memory cards, disks, other things. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to plug this in to one of the front USB ports. Now this is, I believe, only a USB. Oh, no, this is a USB 3. This is a cheap USB 3 memory stick that I use. I don't buy really expensive ones for Windows installs. I think this is a Windows installer or something similar to that. Okay. And then I'm going to hit start. So what it's doing now, it's getting 30-ish megabytes a second. That's real common with USB 2 read and write speeds. So that's what it's going to get here on the right. On the read speed, it's a little bit higher. Josh says, hey, I can't watch tonight, but I hope everyone has fun. Thank you for stopping in, Josh, for as long as you could. So this one takes quite a while at those speeds. So if I pull this out and I put in the Samsung Fit. Oh, can't do that because the disc disappeared, it says. So let's pick the different one. Select target drive. We're going to do this one. This is my portable USB. Now this is plugged in to this device. I'm going to hit start speed test. Now the write speed's the same, but I'm waiting till it gets to the read speed so I can show you that. So I'm going to take a quick look and see if there's any questions that are coming in. Noise canceling is not noise isolation, Andrew says. Yeah, interesting. I'd love to hear more about that here. I'm just going to take a look and make sure I didn't miss any other questions in the chat. Oh, I think it's tinnitus, when you actually have ringing in your ears. So that's not good. So some people are saying about the earlier products to be careful with noise canceling because that can actually cause ear damage. I'm going to stop that here real quick. It was using a large file type, so it's not going to be able to do that. Tell you, it got about 300 megabytes a second on the read side. So that's through the peripherals. That's just one of the things to notice. A couple interesting things you can do too as well to test these. If you go to About This Mac, tells you a little bit about my Mac there, what it is. Not a bad little machine. And if you go to System Report, I know this is probably not the largest thing to read, and unfortunately it doesn't let me do this, but what I like to do is go down to the USB, because this will tell me everything I've got available to me. And it tells me what speeds and maximum transfer rates on here. So you can see I've got my gigabit LAN. I've got this USB flash drive that can go up to 5 gigabits. So there's no limitation on this thing on the USB. It's got the USB 2 hub in there. It's got its audio device, so it's got its own audio controller in there as well. And if I plugged in any of those flash drives, it can do it. So all of this now is running off of this one device, which is pretty cool. I do like the convenience of the front ports on it. So you can see that I've just plugged in that right to the front. I can pull it out and then the Mac will complain that I pulled it out here. And then it does have a USB Type-C. So where would you use the USB Type-C that's on the front of it? Well, if you're like me and you still plug your iPhone in all the time, I just happen to have from Anker a new iPhone cable here. And they're starting to come now with a Type-C on one end and a Lightning on the other. So I can plug this USB-C right there. I can take the other end and I can plug it into my iPhone. And now I'm charging and trusting this computer. I'm going to say don't trust this computer. Hey, Randall C., thank you so much for following. Awesome. And thank you for the follow. He said he has to go, but I do appreciate that. Thanks for checking in, my friend. And Drayton says, that Logitech joystick is great for Flight Simulator. It is absolutely coming up. So I'm using this, and it is charging through the front of this through the PC. Now, I don't have my Mac adapter plugged in, but if you had a spare adapter, I did a review of the ZMI 65 watt USB-C. That would go perfect with this, and then it would charge your laptop at the same time. So right now, it's actually charging through the laptop to my phone and allowing it to go through this replicator, which is pretty slick. So if you do have one of those Macs that has a limited number of ports like these, doesn't have any HDMI output or anything, I could definitely see using this in a studio environment, an office environment, a kid's desk, or maybe even travel. You know, it's not that big. If you were going to travel for, you know, an extended period of time, a week or so, I could see bringing this thing along in your bag as well. So pretty cool product. This is from the To Be None company. To Be Number One is what it's short for. I'm going to bring this down here for a second while I bring up our next product. So if you guys have questions about any of these, let me know them. Send them on over, and I'm going to actually do, you know what? I am actually going to unplug that. I don't want to have that on while I'm showing you the next product. There might be a little bit of glare here, but we'll deal with that. If you have questions about this, we will check back in on it in a second. I'm going to put my MacBook over here. The next product that we've got coming up here, this is a curved monitor light. I just want to make sure I've got Melifo Company, M-E-L-I-F-O. Curved monitor light. If you visit my Amazon shop, there's a link right there. It's time to show you how to get there. So give me 1 second. I'm going to get back over to my Amazon page, and we'll go right there. I got to get the next product up in the carousel for you. Now, this one's 43% claimed It's a lightning deal right now. So just to let you know that, I don't want you to miss out on this if this is the one you want to pick up. So you can see me talking about it here, but this is my Amazon shop. So if you looked at that URL that's down there in the corner, that's where you find this thing, is amazon.com/shop/thenetguy. If you come down here, you can click on it right there to go straight to it. Or what I like to do is go to idea lists. That's always a good start. And then if you go to number 20, that's show number 20, you've got this Melifaux right here. And so there is the curved monitor light. It's giving away some of the cool stuff about it. It actually has a remote control that comes with it as well. I got to close off all this Edge shopping stuff that Microsoft's added. Close off a lot of that. But it also has different RGB modes. So the light that it shows downward is not RGB. I want to be clear about that, because that would just drive you nuts. I know a lot of people are questionable about RGB anyway, and you can turn the RGB off on this one, but it is really cool when it's working. We're going to do some fun stuff here. I'm going to do a quick unboxing with you. I'll go to the top camera for you. So inside of it, you've got a little guide on how to use it. You've got some instructions here. So pretty straightforward information. You know, it's going to tell you how to plug it in, how to set it up, what each button does. Over on this left side, you're going to have the controller, and that's what it looks like. It's not all metal. The bottom's plastic, but this top really does feel like metal, and it's got a good look to it. It's got kind of a brushed finish on it, which is really slick, and it's got a rotating dial. Very kind of Scandinavian design, very IKEA-ish. The other thing is it actually sticks on my upstairs counter, and after a while I bet you it would. Yeah, it's getting a little bit of adhesive effect. And then over here we have the actual light. Now what's funny is this is not the light. This is the RGB strip. On the bottom side here, you can see up under there is the actual lights. Now there are white and amber LEDs, the amber being the more yellowish warm colors, and you can switch between them. I'll show you how that works later. So it installs very similar to this that way. And then the last thing, which we are going to need here to turn it on, is the USB right here. Give me 1 second. So this is the USB right here, and it's USB-C on one end. Let's give it the old test of distance. Come back out. So looking like about 5 feet. I'm 6 feet, so it gets about almost all the way. So about a 5-foot USB cable to go with it. And one thing that I almost immediately thought that I had to install was this battery in here. Don't throw the packaging out if you want this battery. It's a CR2450 battery, so it's not your standard battery. It's a little bit larger. And that one goes in the bottom of the controller, but you know what? They've already installed one. When I went to take it apart to install the battery, they'd actually got one in there already. So that's the main pieces that you're going to find in here. Like I said, don't throw out that battery accidentally, because if you do use this a lot, you may need to replace that occasionally. And they're giving you a free one right away with it. And if you're just joining right now, this is John the Net Guy. We're taking a look at this. This is from Melifaux. This is an RGB monitor light. It's going to be a white monitor light, but it's going to have an RGB bar across the top. Now it's got a little bit of tilting capability there. I might tilt it down a little bit more so you guys can see it during the show, but you could actually tilt it up in a way you wouldn't even see it directly, but the RGB will still go here. So I'm going to do that to install. Let me see if I can slide this over a little bit and give you a better view of it without blinding everybody. So this is what it looks like in the top. So I've just taken it and I've added it over the top slightly. And now this monitor does have a really large bezel on the back, but it's still able to fit it. And then the USB plugs in right here. So it plugs right in the top of it, and then it goes down the back of your monitor. So that's how you install it. I'm going to go over here. I just happen to have, again, a USB plug. It needs 1 amp. So look at that light up. You know, the sad part is about it already, I can't show you how cool this color is in the studio yet. I'm gonna have to change something. So let's change the studio. Alexa, turn off the studio. You guys have seen me done this before, or do this before with some other products. So we're turning on, the studio is just lit by LED panels right now, and this voice activated RGB. Now I apologize because it's not as bright there as it is here, but you can see on the overhead, wow, super bright, and it is sound reactive. So it's actually lighting up just at the sound of my voice. I thought I was going to have to play some cool music and have it do some beats, but yeah, definitely a cool feature here. Another cool thing is I can actually double tap and I can change that. So if I don't want that racy, light look, I can double tap it, and that will make it just, do a rainbow effect. So that's what it's doing. I'm going to go back to the top camera. Actually, I'm going to see, this is my best camera here on the side. Let's see if this one can give you a better view of it. So yeah, there we go. So that's what it's looking like there. It's got kind of a rainbow effect. It looks kind of blinding on that camera, but it's actually not. It is bright, but it's definitely not blinding. Now, if I double tap the controller one more time, I can put it into kind of a fade in and out mode. So this is going to fade in and out the RGB and do this rainbow pattern, rainbow effect here. So do have to say one thing, you can't pick a single color. I know Pinky Tech's like, oh, sold. I would have bought this thing if it could just come in pink. But no, it does not have a solid color. It does a rainbow, it does a fading rainbow, it does sound reactive rainbow, but it doesn't go to a single color. So that's one of the drawbacks here. If you guys are cool with it, I'm going to leave the lights off just because I think it's really cool to be able to show you all the features here with this light, with the lights off. So I'm going to bring the puck out here, and you guys can see that, hopefully. I'm going to use this side camera because I think it's tuned better for lighting. And what I want to show you is how you can control the color temperature of the light. So I can control the brightness of the light just by turning the knob here. So I'm turning the knob to the left. Now this camera has auto exposure, so it's actually making it look, let me go back out to the main camera so you can see how dim this thing is. So you can dim it down. Oh, I gotta pull that up. That's pretty funny. Oh, American, you crack me up, man. Is it gonna do it? Is it gonna do it? Hello, darkness, my old friend. Yes, that's what it is. So pretty cool. And you can see here, you can turn that all the way down. I'm going to turn it up slowly here. So you can see I'm just twisting the dial, a natural twist, and I'm bringing it up. Now, is it super duper bright? No, I've had brighter monitor lights. And again, you would angle it to cover your desk area or wherever you want. It's not going to blind you, but if you like working in an area and having some focused task light, this is definitely really cool. And because it's curved, I want to show you guys that again on the top down. Because it's curved, it actually follows. This is probably a 1500R curve maybe. You can see it follows the curvature of my curved monitor, but it's not as, it's a little bit tighter. It's not exactly the same as my curved monitor. So that's another interesting thing there. Very cool feature. Now I'm using a fixed color temperature on my camera. So when I do this, you're going to see this light turn almost white on one direction. And if I twist it the other way, look at the wood tone. See how yellow it's kind of getting? And get that warm. I can tell you it's like super warm light now. So if you like that warm light color, now all in our living room and upstairs is actually the warm colors in our LEDs. And then in a workspace, when you twist this, you push it down and turn, you can turn it to cool white. And I'll show you if the GoPro will play along with me here. I can try to show you how they accomplish that. I don't know if it's going to, no, it's not going to be able to do this. I wonder if it'll get the temperature change. Yeah, it's changing temperature there. You can see that just a little bit, but the way that it's accomplishing that, I saw this last night in the reflection when I was doing some prep for the show. It's actually accomplishing that by shifting the set of LEDs that it uses. So the cool white LEDs are going to be for your cool temperature, and it's going to rotate and switch to the warm LEDs. So you're going to still stay the same brightness. It really didn't shift its brightness. It didn't get like twice as bright in the middle, which I was kind of expecting. They've calibrated it really well. But it is going to, switch between the two LED sets. So you get pretty good light. And from a photography perspective, another thing that's important is CRI, color reproduction. I don't have the number of the CRI yet. I'm going to be doing a full video on this soon. But it actually looks really good. I haven't seen any flicker. That's the other thing, is as you turn these things down, if they're really, really cheaply made, they'll flicker really bad. And I'm not seeing that flicker like a PWM flicker. So it's definitely got a really good, dimming control in it. So Alexa, turn on the studio. get our lights back on here, and then we can keep moving along here. But I did want to show you that this is from the Melifo company. I'm going to go check the chat real quick, make sure I didn't miss any questions. And again, it's on a lightning deal right now. It is on the carousel for $99.99. So that's $20 off the original price. Alexa, set the head key to white. You can kind of see how I set my cameras and lighting up here now, now that I have to reset everything. There we go. Alexa, set the head key to 10%. So that was from the Melifo company, and there's 43% claimed on the lightning deal right now. So if you want to pick this thing up, you can do that. I'm just going to pull up the site real quick so you can see it. See if they have any other cool stuff that I missed. There is the temperature color range, and it's not just 3 colors. You get that whole range of color that you can very, very easily switch to. So that's one of the cool things I like about it. Let's double check real quick here. Asymmetric light source. Yeah, so instead of lighting up your whole workspace, you know, your whole office, you can light just your desktop area where you need to work, which is kind of nice here. Save a little bit of energy as well. Overall, the reviews, checking it out, 4.5 stars out of 5 and 353 ratings. So pretty good there. Looks decent. And there's that curvature of the monitor that they have here. And there's the USB Type-C. So it says it's recommended for use with a 5-volt 2-amp adapter. I think that's to give themselves a little room. From what I was reading, it was a 5-volt 1-amp was the minimum that you could use with it. So that's pretty cool. And American says, I can see the temperature change. So that was really cool. So he was able to see that. So that was from the Melifo company. I'm actually going to see if I can, you know what? I can leave that on here. But what I'm going to do is I'll show you one last feature on it. If you don't like that top, you can long press it and it will go away. So you can have this just be a monitor light like it is right now, and you don't have to have it running constantly if you don't want to. If you don't want the RGB to be annoying, you can turn that down. I think in a kid's room, this would look really cool against like a back wall or something, which would be really slick. The next product I'm going to bring up, though, is where all the fun's at, and we're going to have a great time doing this because I was super excited when I saw from Microsoft Flight Simulator, they have the Top Gun Maverick. Now, how crazy of a Top Gun fan am I? I have a kid named Maverick, and it's not after the governor of Alaska, so I'll give you that as a hint. This product is from the Logitech company. They've been making peripherals for just about longer than we've been alive here. They make mice, they make keyboards. I use a lot of their gear, use their webcams constantly every single day. They're great products, and this is no exception to that. So this is their Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. It's a really cool joystick. I'm actually going to do an unbox real quick because I need to put that in the review video. So I have one. That's actually my personal one that I use. But this is the Extreme 3D here. It's on the carousel right now if you're looking. It is $29.99, which is probably one of the best deals. I can't find a used joystick for that that's any good. There are some other options out there. Looking for people to say the Wingman Extreme. Americans saying go Army. I was trying to look for a good Air Force movie, and Iron Eagle apparently was the only Air Force movie that's out there. You know, Army has its movies, but you know, technically, if you watch the movie Idiocracy, that guy was in the Army, so maybe that's your movie. I don't know. So this is the Logitech Extreme 3D, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm supposed to open this cleanly, but it doesn't look like there's a clean way to open it. You just have to peel the sides off. It does come fully assembled. So right there, this is a brand new one. And I think that this would make a wonderful giveaway, but I did not prep my giveaway stuff for this week. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Next week, we're going to be building an Extreme Flight Simulator PC. So I've got that really interesting Vetro K1. I'm going to do that case with this joystick, and I can't give away the whole PC, but I can give away this. So I will be giving away this joystick. I just want to show you what it looks like brand new, and we'll show you on the side here. So completely fully assembled. It's got a really decent sized cord, so that's going to get anywhere. Let's look at the top down here. This thing is a ball of buttons. I'm telling you, it's got more buttons than you can use. Now you see that tilting action? That's actually your rudder, vertical stabilizer control in most flight simulators. You've got your heads-up display, your hat switch here. So this is actually an 8-way hat, they call it. So you can actually go in different directions. You don't just have to go left, right. You can go up and left, which is pretty slick. It's got a trigger on the main area. It's got a secondary button on the side, 4 buttons up here, 6 more down here, and a throttle control. So not only does it have 2 axes here, it has the twist axes here, and the 4th axis is your throttle. So with all of those different controls, you can play some pretty killer games. And I'm going to bring that one up right now. We'll do some flying. I'm going to use my personal one. Like I said, this one's going back in the bag. And if you tune in next week, we're going to give this one away. So I don't want to spoil it, but we're going to give this one away to somebody that wants to win it. And it's a great product. And you can also download a flight sim like X-Plane. If you win this thing and you don't have the money to buy a flight simulator, X-Plane is a really good download. And there's the instructions that it comes with. Super simple. We're going to go through the basics on how to set it up in these games, which most of it is automatic now. So I'm just going to put this back in real quick. Check in the chat for any questions on there. Linux compatible. It is USB-C. So, or sorry, not USB-C. It's regular USB. So it should be. I don't know about drivers. You know, most of the stuff comes up as a standard joystick. So I'm wondering if it's emulating a joystick. So I'm guessing so. Logitech's been pretty good about that. Windows 10, Vista, anything else like that. It does not declare it on the side, but we'll see if that's the case. So you better just win this thing, man, and let me know if it works on Linux. But of course, everybody knows nobody games on Linux, right? I'm just waiting for the hate mail on that one. We'll see. I'm going to pull the DisplayPort cable that I need, and we're going to get going on this game here. We're going to have a great time. So there's that. So as far as plugging it in, super easy to do. It is one single USB connection. Now, what do I think of it compared to some of the other solutions out there? Well, you know, the Thrustmaster and the other ones that have 2 sticks, they're called HOTAS, the hands-on throttle and stick, the 2-handed ones. I think they're great, but you need a lot of room to have those. You'd have to move your keyboard and mouse usually out of the way. This one's small enough, you're going to get to see it here when I use it, that I can just plop it down in between my keyboard and mouse and use it as a third control. As far as plugging it in, very simple USB 2 connection, so you don't have to do anything like that. I've set the chat ablaze already, I can tell. I'm going to try to set something up real quick. Give me 1 second here. We should have full output, but I'm going to do it real quick here. Duplicate. And hopefully we'll get the output that we want. If not, I need to plug it in. That would be it. And we'll get this one going here real quick. There we go. So now you should be able to see everything that I see on here. So what I like about this, again, is the compact size. Now I actually have to turn this monitor a little bit so that I can see it as well, because let's face it, I'm bad enough at playing these games that if I'm not actually seeing the game, it makes it even harder. But I'm going to show you, I'm going to be using the controls on this, and I'm going to see if I can actually get it in a way that you can actually see my control inputs while I'm flying this plane. I know that's like a total advanced streamer thing, but I think I can pull it off here. Let's see if I can grab this without knocking everything over. So this is my second camera. And oh, they're complaining about SteamOS. Yeah, you know, I'll see it when it gets here. So there is a close-up of the control inputs that I'm going to show you here when we're using the flight simulator. Hopefully you guys can hear the flight simulator. If it's too loud, let me know and I'll turn it down. That's the last thing I want to do, is be fighting verbally Microsoft Flight Simulator. And there is the opening screen. Can you not see that? That is awesome. That is the new aircraft that they have, the new training missions. It's F-18 Hornet here. So that's pretty cool. Busy, hey, welcome. Good evening, Busy. Nice to see you. If you're interested in winning this joystick, you got to tune in next week. We're going to be giving away this joystick live on the show as we build the ultimate Top Gun gaming PC. It's going to be pretty cool. Awesome. Nice to see you there. And this is the last product that's up on the show. It's $29.99. If you've got kids, maybe somebody graduating, maybe somebody that's interested in flying, a flight stick is a great investment, $29.99. And this design has not changed. I swear this thing's been out almost 10 years. But I bought it new because I knew I would use these. So this is the new Top Gun Maverick. And let me see if the sound is going out the right input. Give me 1 second here. I'm going to hide myself. Or do I? No, actually I can do this. Yep, it's going out there. Oh, looks right. If the sound is too loud, again, let me know. Because I don't want to blow you guys away here, because this thing likes to do its talking. And this is one of the coolest things. This is actually, for us up in Washington State, this is going to be Rife Lake. I'm not exactly sure where that's at, near Mount Adams. You would think it's up in the Cascades here. And I'm going to go ahead and play this. And at the same time, I'm actually going to set the camera up so that you can see my inputs here. So when I'm going to be ruddering, I'm going to be using this twist action. And when I'm going to be throttling, I'm going to use the throttle back here. So here we go. We're going to be doing this light. So this is the actual game. This is on the machine we built about 2 weeks ago. So this is a 3070 machine. There's a Ghost that we're going to fly against. I'm using the hat switch here. I'm trying to fly and set this. So I'm using my hat switch to move around. I can look around the cabin. I can check the water level. I can do all that stuff. I can change control surfaces. If I go over here and I hit button 12, I can actually change the camera view. So you can see that there. And man, I'm telling you, on this game, look how close I can get to the water here. Now, I don't know if this is a Navy one. Yep, it's got the tail hook. We put our tail hook down. It is just awesome. Very cool. And look at how close I flew by that. Oh, yeah. I shouldn't be watching on the thing because I think there's a slight delay. But if I pull up here, you can see the mist that comes. And that's actually not smoke. That's actually just mist that's coming off of the aircraft as it splits the air pressure. So the air pressure gets lower over that. Yes, I'm a pilot. No, I don't fly these. I fly little Cessnas. But yeah, so we can do that. I'm breaking all sorts of regulations in this. But yeah, very, very cool joystick. Again, the ability to use lots of control inputs is important on this, especially if you're playing a game like this where you need a ton of different controls. You know, you just look down and you can see all the buttons that are in this thing. You need a ton of control inputs on this. This joystick allows you to do that. So I've got my HUD here, my hat switch that I can use. I can actually turn on afterburners. I can do all sorts of stuff. It's got a smart camera mode here. So you can do all that kind of cool stuff here with this joystick. It's got flap controls. So if I go back out here, I've got a flaps up and down. Unfortunately, my camera's in the way here. So you can see the flaps on the right side. I can actually put flaps in. I can do that. So retracted my flaps. I can actually add flaps here. So got my flap going. I'm going to slow way down. Let's see if we can see those flaps extend. So you can see on the trailing portion of the wing, I don't know if it's going to let me, right here, that's the inner flaps. Let's see if it's going to do that. It must be on auto. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah. But pretty cool. So again, really, really slick control. Very natural. Oh, I put my gear down. I hit one of the buttons was gear. So I wonder if we can hit that button again and get it back up, because that's going to be really slow. Or I'm going to overstress the aircraft and break the gear off. But yeah, either one. So yeah, very cool game just in general. There's the reset. Again, I can set my HUD up here. Just flying along. I'm getting scored here. I'm going to totally hit a tree. Yep. I whacked a tree. Well, it restarts. It lets you continue to fly. But I just wanted to show you a little bit about this joystick and how really easy it is to fly with this. So if you've got somebody that wants to do this, these kind of joysticks, you know, if you're going to do flight training in a Cessna, you're going to use a yoke anyway. Or if you're going to be in a Cirrus 22, they actually have the side stick. So you're going to get this natural joystick control. And simulator time is very, very valuable. It's very, very cool. So that's one. Let's go back out here. I want to actually resume to... Let's go back to main menu here. I'm going to show you another one that I thought was really challenging. I think we can crash this one. That's another one of the Top Gun Maverick. And American, you're absolutely right. He said this game would be cool with that joystick and B headset. I don't know what a B headset is. I think I know what you mean, but yeah, having a headset would be really slick. So let's go to the challenges. There's another one, and my buddy just destroyed me on it. Actually, this one's really cool. I never actually finished this mission, but that's the part of the opening of the movie that you're going to see. Great movie. Great scene in that one with the Mach 9 airplane. So I don't know if that actually exists as an airplane, but he flies the wings off of that in the start of the movie, and it definitely brings you back to the original Maverick of Top Gun 1. VR headset. Yeah, that would be kind of cool if you did have that immersive. I've got a Quest 2. I've never thought about hooking it up, but that would be very, very immersive. I got this just dual mirroring look going for you guys. So we're going to try a challenging thing here, and this is where really, really tight throttle control matters. So you can see here, I'm able to twist the yoke here, or the joystick, I should say. I'm used to yokes. If I twist it, it's actually doing the vertical stabilizers. It's actually, so that's why I'm twisting kind of on a level axis. Now, if I roll the plane here, bank the plane left and right, I can change pitch. Now, these all work together. Oh, don't go in the water. These all work together. Pitch, power, and airspeed. They'll tell you, let's try not to crash this thing. And I already did. I'm going to restart this mission because I was just playing around showing you guys what all the buttons do. I'm going to go ahead and fly this mission. So what they're going to do is they're going to use a vertical approach indicator or precision approach indicator here. That's the ball, I guess, in this. I'm going to say ready to fly. And we're going to try to land. And this is incredibly difficult. You could not pull this off with keyboards, right? That's the other option most people use is a keyboard. So I'm actually going to be just really delicate with the throttle here. I want about 130. Now, I don't cheat and use the outside view. I may just kind of make it look more natural by bumping it in a little bit. So my angle of attack indicator is the thing that you see just left of the heads-up display there. And that's where it's got the circle, the donut, they call it. And so I'm just lightly feathering right here, this throttle that you see on this joystick. So $29. It's available on Amazon right now if you're watching on Amazon. I'm flying Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the Maverick edition of it, the new free add-on for Microsoft Flight Simulator. And there is my approach indicator at the very top. Now I'm climbing through. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reduce throttle. I'm not going to dive towards the carrier. I'm just reducing throttle. Now I'm increasing it because I'm starting to lose altitude. Pitch, power, airspeed, that's all going to be a factor here when you're flying. You don't have to nose up or down if you just control your throttle. Like, again, I'm missing my glide slope here by a lot, and I have too much power. So back in the power way off, nosing it down a little bit. We're going to see if we can get back on glide slope. I tell you, I did this like 10 times last night, and I made it one time. I think I'm a little bit to the right, and I'm low on power, but we'll see what we can do. We're going to try to land this bad boy. But thank you guys if you're just showing up tonight. This is John the Net Guy. We are testing out the Logitech Extreme 3D. If you don't have one of these, pick one up, man. Use the link in the video description. Use the one in your carousel. Oh my gosh, this is looking like a stabilized approach. It's about 20 feet too high. I'm going to miss it. And, yep, missed it. Yep, that's what it was. So that, we were just watching, is the Top Gun Maverick game here. With Microsoft Flight Simulator, really cool, takes advantage of all of the cool buttons here. One of the things I didn't bring down, I didn't think about it, was I printed out a button guide for this for that game. So if you get this and you want to try some of these games that I'm going to show you here real quick, you can actually use the button guide really quickly to make sure that you get the correct stuff. Let me get my correct game loaded here. Next one, I'm going to show you the last game here. All the games I need a joystick for. Flight Sim, Mech Warrior, here we go. Jeremy's given us a list. Flight Simulator, Mech Warrior, and X-Wing. I have not done X-Wing. I have played a little bit of Mech Warrior. I did not get into that one. Maybe if I had somebody that I would play with. It was kind of weird, you know, solo. It's like playing Fortnite solo. It's hard. It's much, much better. And that's what he says is all the games I need the joystick for. So $29.99. I'm going to check the Amazon chat, see if we got anybody asking about this real quick. And there we go. Turbo Guy added to cart. Want to see you crash. Turbo Guy's asking, what game is this? That was actually, just a second ago, was Microsoft Flight Simulator, and that was the Top Gun add-on, which is absolutely free. So you can add that on here. I'm going to load up the next one, which is Star Wars Squadrons. This is a game I bought not long ago, and what's really cool about this game, it's loading up right now, is it's actually not that hard on a graphics card. You can adjust it and get it to work on a 1050, 1060, RX 470. I played a lot there. And hey, I see a editor in the chat. This is Rare's checking in. Thank you so much, Rare, for your help this week. Rare's been helping me edit videos. If you've noticed, I've put out like 10 videos this week. It's all because Rare's hooking it up. He's doing a great job putting these shows into condensed clips that we can use then as neat video for you guys. So if this is your first time here, again, this is John the Net Guy. We're taking a look at the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. That's what's on my desk here. That's what I'm using. I've got the rudder controls. I've got, my axes here. I've got a throttle control at the bottom. So it's got all of the same buttons and capabilities of the really large joysticks with all those fancy buttons, but it just has them in a nice compact package that wraps up and can get put anywhere and stowed. So it's kind of cool. We're going to switch over to playing Star Wars Squadrons here in just a second. Let me know how the sound is. Again, this one does have a little bit more sound. I can't hear it because I'm just using my headset. Don't have any earbuds, so I'm giving you guys the benefit of the sound. I'm not going to do multiplayer. I'm going to go into story mode, and I'm not going to try to difficulty. I've got my medals on this one. So I want to do one of these real quick that I can show you real quick. Space okay. So what it's going to do when you have the joystick plugged in on Star Wars Squadrons, I'm going to get the game going here. What's going to happen is it's going to show you what joystick buttons, and I'm using the joystick now here to actually control myself. So it's going to tell me what numbered button. So number 1 lets me inspect the aircraft here. Now I can use my controls here to move around. I actually want to go over here into that hangar, but I think I have to talk to my crew before I can do that. Actually, button 2 is the X. Let's see if it'll let me do this. Maybe I do have to talk to them. So hopefully there's no music on here. It's going to get me banned off YouTube. So, we're going to get moving right away. I can go. This game is just really into setup. So you have to do a mission briefing before you can do anything. So this is where we're going. Sounds good. I'm going to leave, and then I'm going to go to the hangar. That's kind of fun. So let me know if you've played this one before. So we're going to go launch. We got a bunch of different choices here. We got the standard X-Wing. We got a bomber, an interceptor. I have no idea what this mission is because I skipped all of it. So we're going to go with an X-Wing fighter. And do I have to click space, select for launch? I'll try that. Okay. Oh, launch mission. Sorry. That's up there. Now I've seen it. Okay, so we're going to deploy. You're going to hear some noise here. So really cool game, and you can find this thing for cheap. And Serene, thanks for the follow. Awesome. Amazon unfollowed me. Second stream today that I had to refollow. How am I doing? Serene's asking. I'm doing amazing. This is one of my favorite games to play, but it is also incredibly difficult. It is a space flying Star Citizen. That's one I haven't played yet. It has a lot of different capabilities. If you notice down here on the screen, and of course I got mouse flying going on, but there's those 3 color bars. That's the different things that you have to use your hat switch here. So I can have my throttle be powered up, my shields or my weapons, and I can use my trigger as a weapon. I can lock on to different items here. So I can drive around. But, all the dimensions of freedom here. Let me go over to the camera that's going to show you what I'm doing here. So I'm going to use left and right. I'm going to twist to roll here. And then banking actually goes and turns what would be a rudder in most things. Blow it up. You know, I have a feeling that you're probably setting me up, Pinky, because he tells me to blow up something, and I think I'm supposed to follow the convoy because it wasn't letting me fire yet, and it's usually pretty good about that. I do have missiles, though. Can I shoot missiles at it? Oh, there we go. So I'm targeting different vessels. Okay, now I'm hitting the wrong button. Now I'm actually got something I can shoot at. So, again, really cool game. Very immersive. If you ever get into this, I'm targeting the asteroid. So apparently my mission is to blow all these asteroids up before they get there. I probably should have remembered that from the real game. So, but yeah, very cool game. Oh, and I just bounced off of the convoy. Really easy to use this joystick to play this game. So if you're looking for something that would be beneficial, I've tried the Thrustmaster on this. Almost couldn't do it, and this joystick is one of the best for this game. It's also multiplayer, so if you're looking for something that you can play that's not a shoot 'em up game as far as first-person shooters, you don't have people swearing at you in chats and voice. This is a really cool multiplayer game for kids. It's going to follow along here with the Star Wars saga. I don't know which part of the canon it's all in, but again, really easy to use. I'm using the hat switch on the top here to change, the left side there, so I can do a boost here. So if I hit that button on the side, that's one of my boost buttons. You can change your targeting or objectives. I want to target my last attacker, so I'm using my hat switch here. Remember the 8-way hat I was talking about? Using all 8 directions to do that. So really cool. And then when you let go, it selects it. So now when I hit the targeting, it's going to target the last person that shot at me, which can be pretty cool in this game. In this case, I need somebody else. I don't want that. I can fire missiles using the side buttons here. Again, super cool game if you're looking for something like that. I just wanted to give you a quick demo of it. That is Star Wars Squadrons. Really easy to play. Pretty graphically intense, as you can see. And this one you can play in VR. If you wanted a really immersive experience on this one, that would be a really cool one to play in the full VR with this. I know that you can literally skim across some of these battle cruisers, and I can just imagine what that must be like. So that was Star Wars Squadrons, and we were just checking it out with the Logitech Extreme 3D Pro. Like I said, next week I'm going to be doing a flight simulator build. So we're going to build a machine to play Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's going to be based on the Intel 12th Gen, fastest one I could afford without the wife questioning it. And we're going to be using this joystick yet again to play, and we're going to see what the frame rates we can get out of that monster machine are. We're playing on a machine right now that we built a couple weeks ago, and so that's going to be interesting. Want to quickly go through the products that we showed today before we end. This is from the 2B1 company, and they sent this out for a fair and honest review. You get a full video on this one later here, but that is the USB ports, USB Type-C. If you are an Intel MacBook owner and you loathe the poor number of ports and I/O that Mac decided to give you, by the way, oh, and they did it again. I don't know if you saw, the new MacBook Air M2 and Pro M2 only has 2 of these now. They got rid of the HDMI. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You just figured it out, and now you're just going backwards. So that is a very cool docking station with dual 4K 60 capability. So that's another thing that I need to point out. We're using the Monitor Light right now that you can see up here. We've been using it throughout the game. I got lots of lights going on in here. Very easy to adjust, very easy to use, simple on-off controls, and it's got RGB. Because why not? You need RGB on your Monitor Light, right? Everybody does. And the last one, last but not least, is from Sapnick, and I do appreciate them for sending this out. Probably close to the perfect set of earbuds, except for the sound quality has no equalizer. So depending on if you have an app or a PC that you can adjust an equalizer on, this would be the best earbuds I have used in a very long time. The case, bar none, is one of the best here. So you can see the charge indicator of each earbud individually. It's got the Bluetooth pairing status on them right there. The earbuds fit really well, really comfortable. Acoustic noise canceling works on these. I used it to mow the lawn earlier, and it was great. Had a wonderful time with them. In that case, the volume, that's the other thing. These things get probably 30% louder than most of the earbuds I've ever tested on here. And that extra volume increase was great if you're mowing or doing something, but you really didn't need it when you turn the noise canceling on. That lawnmower that I've got, a riding mower, it's really noisy, made the sound come down. Now for safety, you can turn on transparency mode. So if somebody's yelling at you, hey, watch out for that dog or something, it will actually go into transparency mode and you'll be able to hear whoever's talking, but the droning sounds of the lawnmower go away. So very cool technology in here. And let me show you real quick while I move some things around. It does have the wireless charging capability. So you don't have to rely. So I'm just putting it down here and you can see that ring turn green. You don't have to rely solely on the USB-C cable. So if you've got one of those new like minivans, we've got a minivan on order that has the wireless charging pad. You can put your headphones down on the wireless charging pad. It'll start charging them right away. You don't even have to open the box. And the size of these compared to most, really, really tiny. Really, compared to a lot of them, the size is just perfect in the hand. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. Center of the palm of my hand. I can close my hand all around it. So definitely from a size perspective, really cool. I'm going to take one more look at the chat, see if I missed any questions, and we're going to call it a wrap if there's nothing else here, which there is not. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you, Busy. Thank you, Turbo Guy, for the recent follow. Good to see you again, Serene, Pinky Tech, American, Jeremy. Thank you guys all for tuning in this week. Next week's going to be a PC build episode. Knock on teak. We're going to try that. If the one part that I'm waiting on is going to take a little bit longer, we might supplement, but we'll see. But we will be giving away one of these joysticks, so just another reason to tune in to the Net Guy here. If you're on Amazon, give me a follow. That would be awesome. You'll get notified each and every time I go live. This has been John the Net Guy. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you next week for Tech on Tuesday, number 21.